Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm praying that all is well this evening with everyone. I know we had a lot of stuff going on today, some areas, weather, plus we had football today. I'm glad everyone can make it. Anyway, welcome to From Prison to Purpose. Today's topic is going to be choices. Choices. Choices is one of those things that we deal with on a constant basis from the time we get up in the morning, from the time that we go to bed in the evening. When we get up in the morning, the first choice that we have to make is what are we going to wear? What are we doing? I mean, these things are prevalent to getting our day started. You know, a lot of times we already have our day planned out, but you still have to put stuff in perspective when you first get up in the morning. A lot of us, like myself, first thing we get up and do is what we call busting up our knees because we have to give praise and credit to God for allowing us, to be blessed with another day. So that's the first thing that I'm doing in the morning. And that's my first choice because I want to stay, along those lines of choices because they're so prevalent. A lot of choices that I've made have been a lot of bad ones. And especially in my early years, they have landed me in a lot of times a world of trouble. You know, then while in that world, you make a choice that changes things, and it's still nothing but the grace of God because when those other things start to change, a lot of times we look at it, because some people call it luck. I don't look at it as being lucky because to me it's no such thing. When you're dealing with this thing we call life. Now, if you're talking about playing a game, you're talking about all games, cards or sports, then yeah, we can say that a person, hit a lucky shot or it was a lucky this or a lucky that because you're talking about sports. But when you're talking about life, God has his hand in it. So the choices that we make are very detrimental to what it is we're in pursuit of. Now when, like I said early on, with me making a lot of bad choices, you know, I go back to, for the most part, everyone is familiar with my introduction when I first started doing these sessions. And I started talking about that elevator scene, so to speak, what changed me per se. And when I was on that elevator, and that everything took place, like I said to you guys early on, I made up my mind that that wouldn't be me any longer. And if it was, I would be on the other side of the spectrum, so to speak. If it was a gun involved, then I would be not at the end of the barrel, but the one holding the barrel to someone. You know, crazy mindset again, but that was a choice that I made at that time that this is the road that I'm going down. Now, that was a bad choice because it landed me in a lot of bad situations, circumstances, that were in line with the choice that I made, where I'm causing more harm to myself, my family, than I actually realized. And sometimes when you realize these things, that the choice that you made back then, when by the time you realize that, it may be years later, it may be hours later, it may be seconds later, but that means when you're able to recognize that it was a bad choice, that means you're getting wiser. And to me, a lot of times when we become wiser, that we get older, and when the older you get, the wiser the more wiser you become. The choices, I'm not gonna say they get better and where you making better choices because that's so far from the truth. You know, I make bad choices daily, you know, where it could be with work, it could be, you know, with my marriage, it could be a choice that I made, you know, dealing with a grand or my child, you know, my family, anything, you know. So you still have to be mindful when you make these choices because it could be something that's beneficial or it could be something that's detrimental. And what I mean by beneficial, it's a choice that you're going to make that's going to be rewarding, you know, whether it's something spiritual or something that can help your family, you know, your household to expand, to get better, because we all trying to do better, or we should be anyway. And if I decide hypothetically that I'm going to pursue a different job, well, it wouldn't be conducive for me to seek out another job that would make less money, or making the same money, but I have to travel, you know, an hour to get to work, because that choice will cost me more then it's actually benefiting me. And I say that because if you making the same amount of money, hypothetically you making $15 an hour, but you're gonna change that job because of whatever. So you choose to change the job, but you now your travel time is not 15 minutes, but it's to 15 minutes from. Now is an hour to an hour from. So now you have the wear and tear on your vehicle, you have gas, you have all these things that you have to consider when you make that choice to make that move. So now if it's a job where you're going from $15 an hour to 18 or $20 an hour, benefits are better, and you have more opportunity to grow with the company. Now that might be a wise choice, you know, because it's beneficial to, you know, you and your family. Now, that's just one choice when you're talking about, you know, dealing with careers. Now, we have things that we decide on a daily basis when it comes to our children. You know, what school they're going to go to. You know, sometimes things are outside of our control when it comes to wanting, because we all want the best for our children. A lot of us, I know I do not want my sons, you know, to go through what I went through as a youth coming up. We dealing with school. So the first thing you want to do, you know, what I wanted to do was I said, well, I'm not gonna send my son to the private school. I'm gonna send him. I'm gonna send him not to public school, but to private school. Why? Because I feel that he'll get a better education. He'll get the better of everything, because in private school the classrooms are smaller. You know, I mean, we can go on and on and on, because to me a smaller classroom you're gonna learn more. So that would be a wise choice. You have others that'll make the choice based on, you know, financial situations. So if they look at their finances, they may say, I can't afford to send them to private school because this is what it's going to do. Well, that's when you make a choice with something else and try to sacrifice if we want the best for that child or our children, period. You know, because sometimes, you know, we make choices and we don't make certain sacrifices when it comes to that. I'm guilty of that all day, you know, and like I said early on, I'm not one to sit here and profess to be perfect, because I'm far from that. You know, I make bad decisions, I make bad choices, you know, daily, but I'm at a point in my life where I've become wiser. So if I get ready to make a choice, and sometimes I catch it instantaneously, sometimes it take time, you know, be like, man, that wasn't the best way to go with that. So now, you know, what we call, when a person becomes conscious, they're more aware of their surroundings. So we call it having that third eye open. So now you should be able to catch things quicker than you were when that third eye wasn't open, when it was sleep, when you wasn't as conscious as you are now. So now your choices, the decisions that you make, should be more keen, more in tune to you know, the way your life is at this point. And I'm dealing with me because where my life is at now, I shouldn't be making the same choices, the same decisions that I made when I was in that other mindset. You know, does it happen? Surely does. And I pray every day to get better in my decision making, in the choices that I make, because they can hinder my growth or they can help further my growth. And I'm looking to further my growth. That's why I sit here today and point certain things out to you so you'll be able to catch it, you know, before it's a choice that can bring harm or be such a poor decision or choice that it cause a financial strain in your household or on your relationship or and when I say relationship, I'm dealing with a significant other or family or children, you know, because it's so important that when we make these choices that we think. It's almost like speaking. A lot of times, you know, and another another example of me. You know, sometimes I speak faster than the thought process, you know, takes place, and a lot of times it's bad when you do that. You know, if you think it out first, you know, and more the people that to me does that on a daily basis are people that are analytical. Like my wife, she's an analytical and individual, and a lot of times that won't happen to her because she analyzes things. So the thought pattern is different than mine. You know, I react, you know, then I think about it later. I should have been better by now, you know, because I'm only 52 years old. I say that in a joking way because actually I'm still 24. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. The choices we make can be beneficial or detrimental to us as individuals. We have to get better and do better with the choices that we make. I mean, just think about the powers that be right now, from Congress to our president to the state of the country right now. And what is the bottom line? The bottom line is choices that people make. You know, I don't care what party you say you belong to, whether you Republican, whether you Democrat. You know, I mean, it's to each his own. What floats your boat is that's you. You're entitled to that. It's like an opinion or a but. Everybody has one. However, the choices that they're making are hurting a lot of people. Now, is it politically correct? To me, no. But I'm not going to get into politics. I just want to deal with choices. You know, you have a lot of people, you know, that are in a desperate time right now because of a choice that the president made. Well, I'm a hold this part of the country hostage so I can get what I feel is needed for the country, the wall. Now all the people that work for these different entities, you can't get paid until they give me what I want. Now that's the choice that he made. Now the people that siding with him with this, they're making a choice to either side with him. Others are making a choice to not side with him. However, it's a choice that was made to do what's being done. And that's what the topic is based on, choices. Choices can be good, choices can be bad. Choices can be beneficial and detrimental. I mean, that's the bottom line. But we have to be mindful of the choices that we make because I'm not dealing with them right now. I'm reaching out to you because I want you to grow in the area, in this area, because I'm trying to grow in it. So by me speaking to you, you know, I'm hoping that I'm able to help you because it helps me by even speaking on it. So this is what I call when I come on and I go live with you guys and I speak to you like this, you know, it's therapeutic for me. You know, it's rewarding for me because by me putting the information out there, I don't care if I talk to 10 people or a million people. If one person grasps anything that I say, then I've done my job. My job is to put the information out there, to share the, the experiences that I experienced with all of these topics, hoping that it could help someone in the long run. So I pray that these topics help you. That's why every week at the end of each topic, I try to leave you with what I call my 3 bullet points, because it's hard to retain a lot of for a lot of us, a lot of information that's thrown at you in a short period of time. But if you can remember 3 things, the bullet points, so to speak, then what I talked about would help you, because them 3 bullet points tackles the whole realm of the conversation that we're having. Even if if you come on every week, when I come on, I come on 8 o'clock every Saturday. Bring a pencil and a paper down just to write the 3 things down. Cause trust me, they will help you if you focus on them 3 things. Because I try to do the same thing after I give them. When I bring it to the table, I write the 3 things down, and I try to implement them throughout the week to see how beneficial they are with me and how mindful I am in remembering the 3 bullet points. Because I guarantee you, if we do that with choices, if we do that with time management, if we do that with man in the mirror, if we do that with peer pressure, those are the topics that was already covered. I guarantee you it'll be rewarding. I guarantee you it would take us to the next level in our growth. And that's what this is about: growth, development, being better than we were, the move forward progress, so to speak, the enhancement. I don't come on here so we can take a step backwards, because that's defeating the purpose. Why would I want to go backwards? Sometimes we make choices that send us that way, but it's what we do when we recognize that we made a bad choice. That means you fell down. Do you stay down, or you get back up again, brush the dirt off your shoulders? That's the key. Because I'm a fighter, and when I fall down, trust me, I'm getting back up. I'm brushing the dirt off my shoulders, and I'm going to keep it moving. And I pray that this is something that you do as well. So if you make a bad choice, don't trip. Long as it's not a choice that's gonna cost you, your home. It's gonna cost you your marriage. It's a choice that's gonna cost you your freedom. Those choices, are stuff that need to be thought out beforehand, so you can know, if I make this choice, this is gonna be the end result. Now it's like some people say, easier said than done, because you might sit there and say, well, your back never been up against the wall, so you really don't know. Well, you need to go back and see my introduction, because my back been up against the wall seemed like my entire life. I'm learning how to bob and weave now. Before I didn't know how to bob and weave. I knew how to just bump my head or to throw rocks at the penitentiary. And what that means is, people that do wrong, and the end result is going to jail. That means that's what we call throwing rocks at the penitentiary. You might as well just go to the door and knock on the door. Look, I'm selling drugs, or I'm defrauding people, or I'm robbing people, or I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You might as well let me in. Because the choices that you making to do that, that's where you're gonna end up. Even the people that's out there right now, that's in the drug game, that's gang banging and doing all these things. It's two results to those choices. The end results to those choices are the graveyard, one, and the penitentiary, two. Them the only that's the end result. Trust me, I know this for a fact. So the choice that you make, allow them to be beneficial, not detrimental. Now, my 3 bullet points. Let me get my specs. 1, always consider the harm you may do to others by this choice. And sometimes it's family, sometimes it's co-workers, others, period. Consider the harm you may do to them by making this choice before you make it. That's number 1. Number 2, acknowledge your faults. This will help you to make better decisions. Better choices will come from this if you acknowledge faults. Number 3, excuses must be thrown out. We have to get rid of them. No excuses. You go back to number 2, you acknowledge your fault. Then you go to number 3, no excuses. I did it. Move forward. Progression is what we're seeking. We're going to be better because we have to do better. I came in peace and I leave in peace.